As you might know, I was named William after Dr. William Scoville, who you write about in your book. Before I was born, he cured my father of quadriplegia, allowing me to be conceived. So, as you might imagine, I've always had a curiosity about my namesake. He had a very distinguished career, but he is mainly known, I think it's fair to say, for a misstep. Could you talk a little bit about HM and the operation that left him an amnesiac?
Yeah. Bill Scoville is a fascinating character in the history of neurosurgery. And I think your experience with him is probably the more common, which is that he helped an enormous number of people. And he was thought of as a very excellent surgeon and a compassionate surgeon, although he was a little bit of a crazy man, a little bit of, I would say, impulse control, perhaps, problems, but on the other hand, a very good technical surgeon. Um, he ran into trouble partially because of the time at which he lived, taking care of a patient named HM. Those were his initials. It wasn't his actual name. Um, Henry Mollison was his actual name, who had a seizure disorder. And at the time, uh, based on the work of another neurosurgeon named Wilder Penfield, who was working at the Montreal Neurologic Institute in Canada, it was known that a type of seizure called complex partial seizures often come from a part of the brain called the hippocampus. And that if you go in and remove that part of the brain, you can often cure people of their epilepsy. And Wilder Penfield had been reporting enormous success removing the hippocampus and curing patients of epilepsy. And when HM came to see Scoville, he knew about that. And he thought that was likely the right operation, was some removal of the hippocampus. But what was unique in Scoville's situation was that Scoville was also a practitioner of lobotomies. He did quite a few lobotomies. And we look back at the lobotomy with sort of disdain and contempt for the idea of doing this barbaric operation where, we go in and sort of scramble someone's frontal lobes to try to help them with mental illness. Although the truth was at the time, it was actually the best treatment for patients who were institutionalized with severe, severe depression and schizophrenia. We had no other treatment for them. We didn't have medications for them, and their lives were essentially over, and they were just kept in these institutions.